It is so fun getting an ad right before I decide to go ahead and start this. For watching now, and I hope you guys can hear me. Everything looks like it's going okay on my end, which means maybe I'm getting better at this. I guess maybe when you do things 4 or 5 times, you finally start to learn how to do them a little bit. That means that I should probably start trying to find something when I do these where I can have a picture or pictures in the background. My sister will probably do that for me. I still haven't figured that part out yet. Hey there, Bonnie. Hope you're doing okay. Hope that anybody who has gotten here yet, I got a few people watching, enjoying this. No real theme. Cat Wars isn't a theme. I just saw this picture. Hey there, Patty. I just saw this picture. And just really, 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 really like the picture. It's when we took this picture that I'm using for the thumbnail. It was obviously a long time ago because that little tiny kitten you see there fighting little tiny Drew is a baby Ichigo, and um, it's been years and years and years and years since Ichigo could ever be smaller than Drusilla. But as you see, even though he was smaller back then, he'd always put up a good fight. Um, well, thank you, Alex. Hi, Don. Hey, Judy. Hope you all are great. Love you guys too. And wow, I feel kind of good. I got this together. I don't seem to have made any mistakes yet. Now, as I say that, I probably expect my furnace in the house to explode now. We're waiting for that any moment. But yeah, it's Texas Tea. Hello there. Hello I'm in Tennessee myself at the moment, although I generally prefer to be in Chicago. My cat attacked my face a little while ago. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope your face isn't scratched up too bad. I know what a cat scratch in the face could be like. But yes, how am I feeling today? At the moment, I feel a little groggy, to tell you the truth. That happens a lot on a day that I post a video. I don't know why. I think it's mostly because I feel relaxed after I make a video, get a video out. If I don't have a video in so many days, even if I'm accomplishing other things, I tend to feel a little on edge. And I decided to try things a little differently today. Since I finished that winter video and got that out in the morning, I thought that I would be able to go to sleep, feel relaxed, and I felt relaxed definitely when I eventually did fall asleep, but it wasn't as much sleep as I probably would have liked to have gotten. But I'm feeling alright at the moment, just a little groggy. Cindy Craig, my first live chat with you. Hello from New Mexico. Well, hello back. I hope you're good there. Chicago too cold? Oh, I don't know if I could say that. Chicago, I like cold. I really do. I've been down here in Tennessee for about 6 years now, and I still haven't got used to how warm it is during the winter. It's one of the reasons why I like doing those winter videos so much, is because I'm very used to it being like that, and not having that here is very, very strange. It's very, very odd the other day that I was able to go out and go for a walk wearing a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. So, Kelton, you are my favorite scary story narrator. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. 75 degrees here now. Wow. Well, it's kind of warm here, but I don't think it's 75 degrees. I think actually it was a little bit chillier today, but I haven't been outside today. I finished up that video, and after I finished the video, I still felt a little wound up, so I watched a little bit of TV, and then I fell asleep. And I guess I was so tired when I fell asleep that, as most of you know, I do all my work from home, so it's I don't really keep a normal schedule. Uh, Sometimes I'll sleep during the day, sometimes I'll sleep in the night. I mostly sleep when I get tired. So I did the video, I got that out, I watched some TV, relaxed a little bit, and then thought, go ahead and go to sleep. Well, I woke up and it was dark because it was light outside when I went to sleep. And this has not happened to me in a very long time. But I woke up about 4:57 Central Time, and it was dark. And I woke up and I'm looking around, and I'm like, when did I go to sleep, and what's going on right now? I couldn't figure out if it was morning or night. And I thought, well, I'm really tired. I kind of just want to go back to sleep, but I want to find out if it's morning or night. And it took me a few moments. I had to actually sit there for a while and try to piece together uh, what I could remember to finally decide. Oh wait, it's 4:57 in the evening. You've been asleep for a couple hours. Could you put back to bed? So I fell back asleep, but I haven't had that happen to me in a really long time. So that might say how tired I was. Uh, but feeling kind of good now. Christine, hello, Christine. How you doing? Hope you are well. I really do. That's great. Always great to see you. I'm in Canada and it's minus 40 outside. Minus 40. Wow. Gosh. Well, I like cold weather, but minus 40 might be a bit much for me. Might be a little bit much. Love your videos, Rosalind. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hope you guys like the one that came out earlier today. It's I think I cheated a little bit on that one since it the first story did take place in the winter, but it took place in a winter that wasn't snowy. It was really warm outside, and but I really liked the story with the windstorm and because I like wind myself, so I really enjoyed that one. But I did sort of cheat and use my snow effect on that one too. So even though the guy in the story was definitely not experiencing any snow. How many cats do I have? Too many. Um, and I know that sometimes you can say you can't have too many cats. You can if you don't have all the space in the world. But we have eight cats. Uh, the four we had 3 years ago. We had 3 cats, and that was going to be it, of course. Then Ichigo was only a few weeks old, and my sister found him actually in the middle of a road during rush hour. It was actually not my sister that found him. It was our dog, Buffy, found him. And so we got them. We got Ichigo, and we weren't going to keep him. And then I got attached to him, and I said, okay, we can keep him. And that was going to be it. So, okay, 4 cats. That's a lot of cats. That's more than enough. Then we moved down here to Tennessee, and my brother had his cat. My brother's cat was an inside-outside cat, and he didn't get her spayed, so she got pregnant, and she had kittens, and because of that, his his son was visiting him, and his son did something really mean to the mom cat, so we decided to take care of the baby cats for him. So we did that, and then he passed away, and after he passed away, I wasn't willing to give up the cats because they seemed to me like they're still like a part of him. And the last one, Ash, was and Jerry. He wanted because I have a black cat, so I guess he wanted a black cat too of his own. So I always had the black cat sitting on me. Drusilla's always around me when I'm out in the living room. So he wanted a black cat too. So he went and got a black cat, and black cat who's very much like my black cat. So 8. And occasionally there'll be another one around there, and there's our neighbor has a cat, as you guys know. Around Thanksgiving time, she was visiting me all the time for food. She hasn't really done that lately. I did see her the other day though. She she was walking along the side of the road. I was walking back home from the store, and she sees me and she runs up to me, wow, wow, wow. And then I saw one of her kittens who's grown up a little bit just runs out of nowhere and tackles her, and I'm like, wow, that's so cute. So she's playing in rough housing with the kitten, and that was really nice to see on the way home. So I enjoyed that. So proud of the Tennessee Titans. They won last night. You're my good luck charm killer. Okay. Well, I didn't. I actually wasn't aware that they won. But I'm glad if I could give anybody a bit of good luck, I'm very happy to be able to do that. Let's see who I miss. Um, let's see. Oh, so hi to Christopher. Hi to Judy. Um, love so beautiful. Well, yeah. So right now, the cats pretty much have the run of the place. Only place I can get away from them occasionally is my room, and Drusilla is the only one that ever comes to visit me in my room. Or let's just put it this way: Drusilla is the only one that I willingly let come visit me. Um, Cujo, she is the small fluffy one. She likes to sneak whenever she can. Her latest thing over the past month or so has been sneaking out into the front yard. What she'll do is every time we go for the front door, she'll find a she's like, oops, someone's trying to go out. I'm gonna find my way outside, and she'll try to be all crafty. She'll try to find a place where she can time it perfectly so she can get out the door. Now, her Achilles heel is this: she gets out the door all the time, but no matter what, all you have to do is go out there, and she sees you, and she comes running back to you. So then you just pick her up, bring her back in the house. So I never think that I have to feel too worried about her getting away or doing anything, but she does get outside a lot. In fact, sometimes she drives my sister crazy by doing that. So it's funny. I don't know if I was sleeping or if I was out, but I remember once, just a couple days ago, my sister was telling me that that Cujo got out of the house like 5 times. Every time she opened the door, pew, but of course, every time she came back. Happy 2020 to you too, Nikki. Cats are funny wired or funny weird. Either of those are probably correct. So now, I also wanted to talk about. I'm going to do more of a themed chat on this coming theme stream. I still call them chats for some reason, but whenever I say chat, I mean the stream. This one's just going to be casual, just me talking to you guys for about an hour, just because I like spending time with you. But this coming Saturday, as long as everything goes right, and it seems like it's going to, I'm going to have my sister, Evil Black Cat, and my friend Grievous uh, join me together, and we'll just still talk about channel and stuff like that, but we're gonna try to talk a little bit more about a specific subject too, like I did with the Candyman chat that one time, and we're gonna talk about like 1980s horror movies because for me, my sister and Grievous actually, we all really like 1980s horror movies and some of the influence that they have, and they're just entertaining to me. And I sort of grew up on them. We were having VCRs and DVDs and watching these old movies where you can get them for really cheap, anyways. And I remember, even though this was around, I don't know, 2003. I was hanging out with my friend Matt, who we don't really hang out anymore, but back then, most of your video stores were Blockbuster Video, big chain video stores. But we'd found this one that was still like an old mom and pop video store, and they had big, huge collection of old horror movies. It was a huge collection. So we spent one summer just going to that video store and getting all of it over and over and over. And I watched so many old movies, saw so many movies I didn't even know existed. And I feel kind of bad because a lot of those movies you can't even find. You can't find if you try to torrent them. You can't find copies anywhere, which is kind of sad because a lot of them seem like they're gone. But yeah, a lot of the older movies can be fun. I wish Pinhead and the Cenobites come for me. Um, well, Christopher, I like 80s horror movies. I'm not really hoping the Cenobites come for me though. When I think about it, if I really wanted a horror bad guy to come after me, I think I'm gonna have to go with Slicey from my horror cliche theater videos. I think if Slicey comes for me, he's not the most lucky killer there ever is. I think I might be able to get away from him. So that's the only one I could think of. I'd be really happy that if he came for me because I might actually be able to get away. Hey there, OBX. Um, hey Devin. Hope I'm not missing anybody here. Have I ever seen the Guyver movie? No, I don't. I haven't. Tell me about what that is, and we'll see. I love old horror movies. Hello, Fidel. Psycho from the 60s. That's really interesting that you mentioned that, Susie. I saw a really interesting documentary on Hulu last night. It was all about the filming and about the legacy of the shower scene from Psycho. They had a lot of big names on. I mean, Elijah Wood was on there. Guillermo del Toro, uh, Eli Roth. There was a lot of people on it, but it was a really good. It was an hour and a half long documentary that was just about the shower scene from Psycho, and I really enjoyed it. I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head because it had a bunch of numbers in it, something like 78, 52, or something like that. But yeah, I really like that. So if you guys like documentaries and like the movie Psycho, you might actually enjoy watching that. It's pretty good. Do I remember a movie called Burnt Offerings or In the Mouth of Madness? I don't think I've seen Burnt Offerings. I have seen In the Mouth of Madness. I like that one. I don't think it was maybe John Carpenter's best horror movie, but I did like that one quite a bit. It was enjoyable. It was different. Sorry about that. My voice just caught a little bit, but it was a interesting concept. I like the twist in it too. I've not seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space. As surprising as it actually is, it's one of those ones that always gets put on my list to see, but then I don't get around to seeing it. I do hopefully plan on seeing it uh, some point before I die. But yeah, um, see, interesting. Yeah, it's again the documentary is called something like 78 52 Psycho or something like that, or Hitchcock's Hour Machine. It's on Hulu. I'm sure if you looked it up, it's under there. I never knew it existed. I really liked it for like that sort of stuff. It's really enjoyable. I thought maybe I'd watch like the first 10 minutes of it and get bored, but next thing I knew, the entire thing was over. An hour and a half went by, and I didn't even notice it. My favorite horror movie. My favorite horror movie is The Evil Dead 2. It was one of the only movies I remember that really scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. I was really young when I saw it, and it did scare me like half to death. And I sort of feel kind of silly about that now. A lot of movies don't scare me. Whenever I find one that does scare me, it makes an impression. So, but Evil Dead 2, I've probably seen it like 100 times. I'll probably watch it 100 more times, and it's like I haven't had another movie have all the elements that really just make horror movies for me. I mean, even the funny scenes were scary, in my opinion. And I think I might have been 11 or 12 when I saw it. And an 11, 12-year-old watching a movie like that, I could see it making a pretty indelible, scary impression upon them. So, uh, the original Pet Cemetery, when I saw Zelda pop up from behind the bed, it shook me for life. Yes, that was pretty terrifying. That was very terrifying. Do you remember a movie called Flatliners? Yes, I do. I don't remember a whole lot about it except that it was a lot of younger movie stars. They used that to advertise it, and they were killing each other, but they brought something back from it. I remember liking it, but I hadn't seen it for a really long time. Yes, Black Christmas is great. The Changeling. No, the Changeling is a movie that if you like sort of a more of a slow burn but scary movie, uh, but a movie that you kind of really have to have an imagination to be scared. There's not a lot it going on the screen as much as it involves your mind and thinking about what's going on. But I really enjoyed The Changeling when I saw it. There were a couple scenes. Uh, the little red ball going down the stairs. I think it was the stairs. That was pretty freaky, and I got that. So the original Carrie is scary. I don't think it scared me, but I have to admit again, it's another movie I saw when I was young. So at the end, that famous scene at the grave, I haven't had a bunch of jump scares at the age I was in, but that one got me. That one got me pretty good. Hey there, Vina. Anybody, if I'm missing you when you come in, I apologize. It's kind of hard for me to always uh, keep track, but I'm trying to. Uh, do, Critters. Now I know of the existence of Critters, but I don't think I've seen it. Uh, Christine, it's been a while. I don't remember much about it, but I will say I mentioned this before in previous streams. Devin just mentioned the old one, the old It. I actually prefer the old It to the new It, even though there are so many good movie making things. The one thing that the old It had that the new one didn't have is it tried to show why things were scary. Like the new It, the clown's not scary to me. He's just a monster. He's not a clown. And I'm not scared of clowns at all. I actually like clowns. But I think one of the points of the books, I did read it too, and so the first one of the points about Pennywise is supposed to be scary is because he's a clown. He acts like a clown. The new clown is not a clown. He does not act like a clown. He just looks like a clown and just acts evil. Pennywise did clown stuff, and for people who are scared of clowns, it's just not usually the look of the clown. They're scared of the things that clowns do. And the new clown wasn't a clown. It was just a guy that looked like a clown. And for me, that took away any sort of scariness. And see, that's the problem with a lot of the movies that come out nowadays. A lot of the horror that's out there is a lot of people who are making these movies. They don't get it. They think that they think that what they need to do to scare people is have a bunch of scary images, really monsters or things with really jagged movements moving really quickly towards the screen. And you know, it doesn't really work. And I know a lot of people think they get that from movies like Ring, the Japanese movie. But the thing is that those movies still have scary features to them. Just a bunch of weird things on screen isn't scary. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of horror movies, and I don't really watch a whole lot of the new ones as much as I would like to. The I can listen to I can come in. This is probably one of the reasons why I do this is because I wasn't being scared by uh, a whole lot of stuff that was out there, a whole lot of movies. Hey, Brad, it's great to see you, Brad. My good friend Brad Smith is here, who I don't see him a lot that much anymore, but he was one of the ones that went with us to Waverly Hills. Always great to see Brad. But yes, but to explain why I started this was I was living by myself for a while, about 7 years ago, and I wasn't really seeing these scary movies or these movies that were out right now weren't scaring me. I mean, I still watch them, but nothing was really scary. And I had come across um, a couple of creepypasta videos that I hadn't been aware that creepypasta was even a thing. And a lot of the stories, if you find them, the horror narrators, a lot of the even some of the uh, top 5 or top 10 or top 15 type channels, I get more scares from them than I get from horror movies nowadays. And the reason why is just that, the thing that makes something scary to me is you have to know the underlying effects, the underlying status, what makes something scary. And when I try to when I try to pick stories, I really like to try to get those, that maybe the climax of the stories that I find aren't the scariest ones, but I'm hoping that, the lead in kind of helps you, maybe helps your imagination a little bit. And that's the kind of stuff that I find scary. Hi, Joyce. Hey there, Lily. Little C. Sorry, I'm a little bit away from the computer, so hey there, Little C. Sorry, I got your name wrong. Um, yeah, I'm sitting a little bit away from the screen right now, so the T's look like L's. My apologies. Child's Play was the first scary movie. I was 6 years old. I don't remember how old I was when I saw it, but I liked it. Um, Child's Play is actually one of the very few horror remakes that I like too. I remember when I heard they were remaking it, I was a little upset because all these horror remakes, uh, most of them aren't very good, but I really like that one. Of course, didn't find it scary in any way, but I like how they reimagined it. I thought that I love Mark Hamill. I love seeing him do the new voice. He was perfect in it, and they really kind of imagined it in a really good way. So the original Halloween was awesome, but I absolutely have night terrors about Jason. Oh, really? I don't think I've ever been scared by a Friday the 13th movie. I like them. I've seen them all several times. I watched them a lot, but I haven't ever really been scared by them. Halloween, yeah, Halloween scared me the first time that I saw it. I mean, really scared me. I was, it was actually, I saw it actually on Halloween. I was by myself, and I started, this is something that I do almost every year afterwards. I was home by myself on Halloween, and this was a complete coincidence. But I put the movie in the early evening. It was still light outside. And interesting enough, the time that I picked to put the movie in, it got dark in my actual neighborhood at the same time that it got dark in the movie. And I was sitting there, my back to the wall and stuff, and just okay, no, my back wasn't to the wall. My back. I was sitting in a chair. The back of the chair was to the hallway, and I'm getting further and further into the movie, and I was like, I got up and changed seats, so I'm sitting in a chair that had a back to the wall. So, yes, the first time I saw that one, it really did get to me. And ever since I try to watch it every Halloween. I do my best not to watch it again during the year, but at Halloween I'll go ahead and watch it all the time. Salem's Lot, I haven't seen. I don't know if I've even seen the first one or not. I can't quite remember, and if I have seen it, I don't remember a whole lot about it. Uh, I think a lot of times I think maybe I'll go ahead and watch it again, but I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. But I probably will sometime in the future. But there's so many movies I'd like to do that with. So, do I remember Trilogy of Terror with those little dolls? No, Christina, I'm not really sure I've seen that. I'm not really sure I've seen that one. I think I kind of remember maybe like a copy of a DVD with a picture of that, but I don't think I've actually seen the movie. And that's kind of like there's a few movies I'll always remember the covers of, but I haven't actually seen the movies. And that would be one. Another would be Return to Horror High. I've never seen Return to Horror High, but I remember going to video stores. I remember going to like Best Buy, walking through the horror DVD section, and always seen Return to Horror High with the skeleton cheerleader on it, but I've never seen it, and I don't think I've ever seen Trilogy of Terror either. But I do remember the video or DVD cover for it. No, actually, one thing I do recommend that if you like Japanese horror, one thing that I watch all the time, it's this box set that I bought a few years back. It's a box set called Tales of Terror from Tokyo and all over Japan. And what they are these shorts. Some are really short. Some could be like 5 minutes long. Some are longer, up to 10 or 15 minutes. But there are a lot of Japanese shorts of stories that were told, or urban legends or ghost stories that are told in Tokyo or other places in Japan, and they just made all these little shorts from them. And I've had that for years and years. I first got that when I was in college, and it was a cheap box set. I think it cost like $20 and had 4 DVDs in it, and I'm like, oh, this is probably gonna suck, but I'll go ahead and try it out. So I went ahead and got it, and I've watched it again many, many, many times. I really, really quite like it quite a bit. So if you like Japanese horror and you haven't seen it, you might enjoy that. The stories are supposed to be true, whether they are or not, who knows? Most of them are paranormal. So, but I personally, I personally enjoy that quite a bit. So, Puppet Master, it's been a long time since I've seen those. So, well, I'm gonna get all the horror movie talking done before before next Saturday comes along. But am I pretty? Ah, yes. Carve is that the name of the movie? I really enjoy that. House of Wax. You know, I actually can tell you an interesting story about the House of Wax remake. I was I was going over to a friend's house. Now, this was just a very strange friendship. We were friends, just we both like horror and stuff like that. But um, his family was really paranoid about him being gay, or I guess whether he was or not, I don't know. But whenever he had male friends over, they would never leave him by himself. And I'm not even kidding. It's very, very odd. And I was over there to watch horror movies one day. But what his mom did is whenever I was over there, she would have to hang out. She'd have to be there like maybe standing in the hallway watching us as if she thought something was going to happen. I mean, it's like, okay, whatever. I'm just there to, we're just here to watch scary movies. And we watched the House of Wax remake. And again, she was supposed to have gone to bed a while back. And where we watched the movies, and there's a scene in House of Wax where the character gets covered in wax and he's put out on the like a piano player, and they start peeling the skin off his face and everything. And she's like, "Oh, we can't watch this anymore." Da, 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 da. It's like, woman, get the hell out of here. What's your problem? Hi there, Mac. Nice to see you always, always. And hey, bitty bitty. But yeah, it was just a very strange thing. It's like it's she just would not leave us alone, and it's not like anything was going to happen. As far as I'm aware, I stopped hanging out with him, unfortunately, because it was too annoying. I just couldn't put up with his mom just being like there looking over my shoulder all the time. I don't like people standing behind me to begin with. My sister would even tell you that. And we walk places, or like we're in a grocery store. I always want everyone to walk in front of me. I don't like people being behind me. I always try to be the last. Like when I was in college, I would always be the last person to leave the classroom. I just don't like people being behind me. And this woman would just stand behind us all the time. It's like, what's your problem, woman? Yeah, that was her. I mean, that's all I could think about. Is I guess that I mean, he listened to a lot of like techno music and stuff like that. So maybe she thought he was gay because he listened to techno music. I mean, I don't know. As far as I'm aware, he got engaged and is married now. But that woman would just stand behind me all the time, and I just couldn't take it. So, will I be on early next Saturday? Uh, it might be earlier than 4. I might not though. I was probably still going around 9. The reason why is on Saturday, my sister is going to be there. But not only that, my friend Grievous is going to be there, and he's from Australia. So 9 o'clock our time is like 2 p.m. his time. So it works at a period of time, and you guys will like him. He's a very nice guy. He's really knowledgeable in horror films. You'll love his voice if especially if you like Australian accents, because he's from Australia. He has a really strong accent, and I know so many people who have listened to him. Him and I have used to do some professional wrestling podcasts together, and half the time while people were listening to him, mostly being like, "Oh, I love your voice! I love your voice! I love your voice!" So, if you guys like Australian accents, when we do this on Saturday, you'll probably be very happy because he's got a very nice voice, but he's a very good friend. So, and very knowledgeable about that kind of stuff. So I'm quite looking forward to it, and I hope that as many of you that are here or have been here or on and off have been here will be able to show up and enjoy that, because it'll be more themed than this is going to be. So, but I should have my sister come up with a really nice thumbnail too. She's good at that sort of thing. I Now I guess I was asleep during a portion of the day, so I wasn't even aware that I guess something happened, and I have to talk to her about it later. But our neighbor doesn't really leash his animals, and I guess he's got this cute little puppy um, that unfortunately I guess got hit by a car. And my sister, I got messages from my sister on Discord about it, that they had to come and take him to the vet and unfortunately put him down. So uh, that was a very odd thing to wake up to. I have to ask her about that. I think she's sleeping right now, but yeah, that was too bad because that little puppy was really cute. He'd always run up to, he barked, bark, 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 bark. But he's a puppy. Puppies do that, and he looked just like a miniature version of his dad. I think a yellow lab. I'm not completely sure, but and whenever I would walk home or walk out the door or be coming home from the grocery store. As I think most of you know, I walk most everywhere. It's good to exercise. I think it's just a good way to do things. And I walk and he run bark 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 bark. So uh, fortunately the cat's fine. So yo, my kittens are going wild up and down the curtains. Oh, that's a good thing. That's a good laugh. Yeah. Yeah. Don is an irresponsible pet owner. He's a nice guy, but yeah, his cats are always outdoors. He doesn't uh keep the uh dogs chained up. The dog hit them, and he's a nice guy, and I don't say anything bad. I know he's not here listening to me, but if he was, I'd feel bad now. But yeah, so unfortunately, that puppy got to be put down. I have to ask her about that, but I'll miss that. I'll miss that bark, that little tiny little thing, that little tiny thing coming out and barking at me as I go for my walks. Liquor store girl, hello there. Liquor store girl is an actual liquor store girl. She's, I think I've mentioned this before, like the only person other than my sister around here that I get to talk to. Um, and I'll come in and say hi to you tomorrow. Tomorrow, as long as it's not raining outside. Uh, I was talking to you the other day, and remember with uh, there was a storm brewing, and I had to get out of the store and get home before the storm was gonna hit. And I thought, I'm doing pretty good here. I can do this. The walk between there and the house is about 20-25 minutes, depending on how motivated I am. Well, with the storm bearing down, I'm pretty motivated. So I started walking home, walking home. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I get get down the highway, cross the street, get past some of the stores, turn onto the road that goes into the subdivision that I live, and I'm doing good. I'm getting like 20 minutes here, no storm. 5 minutes before I get home, starts pouring. And it doesn't start raining; it starts pouring. So yes, I was soaked by the time I got to the door. It's just like, cats, get out of my way! I'm going to take a shower. Yeah, I got very, 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 very wet. I think that was Friday, but I don't quite 100% remember. But I got very, very wet the other day. Hello, Casey. I'm a huge fan of yours. Hope all is well. Smith NB42. Thank you very much. I appreciate that very, very much. We need some Bud Lights for this. I love this band. Well, thank you. Wow. Christopher in Tucson. I'm going to the liquor store tomorrow. My school is in the national championship tomorrow, so I'll be celebrating or depressed. Hmm. Well, I'll probably go to there because I'm going to be going to the store to buy some things, but it's so I'll be stopping in to say hello. That stinks, yeah. Oh yeah, it stinks getting wet like that because I don't. That's one thing I have very much in common with cats. I don't like getting wet. I hate being wet. Uh, when I shower very quickly. I thoroughly, of course, because I love being clean, but I hate being wet. And I was so wet when I got home. It was just bad. But Christopher, I wish your team good luck. I hadn't really been following too well college football. I don't think my alma mater's team did very well. So a lot of times when they don't, I don't pay attention. So, but I hope your team does well. Hey, I didn't notice you were streaming. Original Astarella, how is everyone tonight? Well, I'm glad that you are here. Now, that was a very awkward greeting, wasn't it? But I'm glad that you're here. LMC, hi KOC, hello back. Hey, we both have three letters in our name. Clemson versus Louisiana State in football. I'm a Clemson University alum. Well, I can since I don't have a horse in that game, I will go ahead and say good luck to your team. Hope they win for you. Uh, Judy like walking in the rain. It didn't used to bother me, but there's just something about being wet. I don't swim either. I don't like being submerged in water. It even being young, like 10, 11, 12 years old, and hot summer day, uh, everyone wants to go to the swimming pool. I would go to the swimming pool, and I would be there, but I just don't like that feeling of being wet. There's just something about it that I really don't like, and I don't know. It's just never been something I've enjoyed. Now I love storms and rain. I just like being inside when they're happening. So I've never been in a monsoon before. I've never been in a monsoon before. Original Australia. I finally took down my Christmas tree. Dragged to the porch and had a storm last night. The tree was in the yard, super windy. We had a lot of wind the other night too. I loved it. It was a very big coincidence that I got that windy story, when it happened, because while I was reading the story, it was actually really windy outside, like 20 miles an hour. So that was pretty neat. I enjoyed that. The hills have eyes. The original was very creepy and weird. I was quite freaked out, but then I also saw it at a really, really young age. But being wet takes me out of my comfort zone. And see, that might be what it is to me too. But it's also your clothes start sticking to you, and that's what kind of gets to me. You can't stand the ocean killer, but I love rivers and lakes. I'm just weird. God, it's been several years since I've seen the ocean. I like the smell of the ocean. I like that salt water smell. But before I moved to Chicago, my dad was in the Navy growing up, so we for the first like 10 years of my life, I was always by the ocean. So, but storms I enjoy. Any stories about cats and orbs? Um, I don't know any. If anyone does, feel free to share those. And if anybody has stories about cats and orbs and wants to send one to me, go ahead. I would be completely fine with that. Um, I really liked, if you guys saw my newest video. That's not one of my cats in the first video in the wind story. It's a picture. It's a stock a stock picture that I got of a black cat looking out a window. So I put snow on him. I thought that was pretty nice. I grew up in South Carolina. The humidity and rain gets old. Had to move to Arizona for relief. When I was 5 years old until 7 years old, I lived in Charleston, South Carolina, on the Navy base in that area. So, will I ever do paranormal stories? I don't do them as much, but that's mainly because I don't find them as much. But if people would send me some, I would be more than happy to read them. I know that I'm more skeptical about them, but my whole mantra has always been that I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I've been sent some non paranormal stories that are really, really far fetched. And every now and then I'll put up a story, and I'll be sitting there thinking in my head while I'm reading the story or posting the story, oh my god, there's no way this happened. This did not happen. I'm going to put up this story, and everyone's going to be like, Killer Orange Cat, how can you be so gullible? This didn't happen. Oh my god. None of us could ever believe something like that. I call bullshit on that. And I'm sitting there like terrified that everyone's going to give me a hard time for it, but no one ever does. Uh, but I get that way sometimes with the non paranormal stories. So I try to keep an open mind about everybody's stories, paranormal or not. So it has been a while since I've done a paranormal story. Maybe I'll go ahead and see if I can find some stories paranormal stories this week and maybe do an extra video for them. But like I said, I try to be open-minded about the stories. All that open-mindedness or all that benefit of the doubt doesn't translate too much into my regular life. I am a skeptic for the most part, but we'll see. We'll see if I can find some, or some people can put some in there. I will go ahead and do a video of them. I myself have had several paranormal experiences, but as most people probably know by now, I also suffer from partial seizures every now and then, and partial seizures can cause visual and auditory hallucinations. Um, so for me, that kind of can explain to me what my paranormal experience is. I'm not saying that that's everybody, but since I have that diagnosis, it makes sense and can explain why I've had some experiences like that. Except for one, which I've mentioned a few times before, that there was that one ghost story, or that one weird light that I saw moving across a ceiling back in high school that somebody else saw, and we both saw the exact same thing. So that one's not explainable that way. But and what did I think of Carpenter's Vampires? I haven't seen it yet. I am interested enough. I don't gravitate towards vampire movies that much anymore. There's just so many out there. It really kind of takes something special for me to think, hey, I want to watch a vampire movie. So, but if you like it and recommend it, I would more than love to give it a shot and tell you what I think about it. I haven't watched a good horror movie in a few weeks. I've mostly been listening to other people's other people's uh, narration channels and stuff, trying to think of themes to go out and find stories I want to do, because I really want to sort of keep this going and have a much more regular uh, output of videos. I think I did a really good job in December, so it's increased things. I'm hoping to have more content out in January than I had in December. I will probably have another video up within the next couple of days. I'm hoping to get at a minimum 2 story compilations up for the stream on Saturday. That is my goal. So we will see what happens with that. I'm not making any promises, because whenever I make promises, I get anxious, and my anxiety keeps me from fulfilling those promises. But yes, I'm gonna try to get a few things out like that. So, your favorite movie ever is Lost Boys. I haven't seen Lost Boys in a very long time, but I absolutely love it. I see Dave Walker mentioned Angel and Buffy up there. Buffy is my favorite show of all time. When I when I had when I had a bit of uh, I guess I was having seizures, but whenever I had that, if you watch my video, The Apartment, again, if you want to know about my paranormal experiences, uh, that's what to do. Watch The Apartment. And after that, I started watching Angel and Buffy a lot. That was the show that kind of calmed me down, tried to make me feel better, tried to it made me feel normal again. So I really like that. I didn't know you lived in Charleston. I grew up there. Family still live there. Well, I don't talk about Charleston that much because I was so young, and I really do not remember anything about it. And I think it was 5 to 7 years old. And yeah, I just don't remember. I remember the only thing I really remember was two. Well, there's two things I remember about Charleston. I'm gonna blush at one of them, but One was the house that we lived in had really, really smooth floors and a long hallway, and we'd always like slide down the hallway in our socks. Okay, that's one. Oh god, I'm gonna really be embarrassed by this. When I was 6 years old, I was talking to this girl named Rhonda. She was also 6 years old. We were just hanging out and stuff, and oh lordy, lordy, lordy. Rhonda decided to show me how French people kiss. And the 6 year old me was like, okay. So I had my first kiss at 6 years old, and it was the way the French people kiss. I remember going home and telling my mom and my dad that, hey, Rhonda showed me how French people kiss. Lord. I can't say that I remember exactly my parents' reaction to that. But wow. I it was I don't blush or get embarrassed about a whole lot of things, but I still blush at that story, and it was just something else. It was I remember growing up, my dad and my dad and my dad and my mom would like to tell people that story to embarrass me. See, I tell it myself and it embarrasses me. But yeah, it was and, but yeah, that was lucky her. Well, thank you. Um, wow. See, I'm actually there's nobody in here, my house that hears it. Everyone's on the computer. I am quite embarrassed by that. So, but I thought I would share that since I probably won't be going on too much longer. I just still feeling pretty exhausted. And only wanted to do about an hour to talk, but because I wanted to see you guys. I like seeing you guys. You come here, you spend some time with me, and I really like it. Oh, Les Venus says I was a first grader when I showed my mom my middle finger. Oh my god. Oh wow. Um, that's pretty bad. Uh, I was probably a first grader when I used a racial epitaph in front of my mom and got my mouth washed out with a bar of Irish Spring soap that night. So, um, thank you so much for your time. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate your time too. But yeah, I used a racial epitaph, and yep, I got my mouth washed out pretty bad there. Um, my mom, of course, would never do anything like that again. But yeah, it was different. It was different back at that point in time. How old am I? Oh, that's a good question, isn't it? Um, there were people who tried to get that answer out of me for a really long time, and I kind of avoided telling anybody in the beginning how old I was, just because I don't tell anyone because it's sort of a non important thing to me. Um, whether younger or older, it's simply how many times the Earth has gone around the sun since I've been born. It doesn't really tell you anything about me, and now that I've been keeping it secret for so long, I kind of felt like I built it up so much that I gotta kind of keep secret. So sorry. The one question I won't answer. It's the one mystery. The one mystery I'm gonna keep. You know, it's kind of like in The Simpsons. Where's Springfield? They say if you follow the clues, you can find out where Springfield is, which you can't. And I always say if you follow the clues, you can find out how old Killer Orange Cat is, but let me guarantee you, you can't. Because I find ways around it. So, but it's always been a joke, and just it's the joke's been going on for so long now that I just can't stop it. So I'm sorry. Month and date, okay, May 23rd. May 23rd. I'll go that far. May 23rd. And maybe one day I'll give in and reveal it, but we'll see. Right now, it's too fun for me, and I do put a whole lot of thought into it when I people when I put a clue in here or there and try to mislead people or something like that. So I do that a bit. So, but anyhow, I'm going to thank everybody for being here tonight. It was really nice chatting with you. I hope that you will all be able to show up on Saturday. So Saturday will be 9 p.m. It's going to be me, Evil Black Cat, and my friend Grievous. And again, guarantee you will love his voice. So he's got an awesome voice. 9 o'clock p.m. This is a hard thing. It's set. It's not going to change. I hope that everyone's going to be there. And I saw something there. Politics. Um, Here's what I say, Dave. If you want to send me an email or send me a message about politics, send me an email. I don't talk about politics openly on my channel, just because it's a very divisive thing right now, and I know that at this point in time, whatever I believe in politically is going to piss half the people off. So I don't talk about it on my channel. But if you send me an email, my emails should be included in the description of any of my videos that aren't streams. I'd be happy to talk to you about it in that way. But I just don't want to do it on a stream or on a video. So anyhow, here's what I say. I'm going to probably miss Hey Siri, set a reminder for KOC stream. I'll have to set a Siri one and Alexa one and a couple other ones. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be there. And we're going to be talking about 1980s horror movies. So if you have questions about more of them that we talked about today or other ones, feel free. I do accept DMs on Twitter. So yes, go ahead. Send me one. I'd be happy to see it. So sometimes it may take me a day or so to get back. I just say that if it does, don't get discouraged. I kind of sometimes get a bit overwhelmed, but I will get back to you anyhow. So thank you all for being here. I look forward to seeing you all this coming Saturday, I hope. And I hope that I can get a few videos out for you this week so you have something to listen to or something to watch before then. Thank you all. I am going to skip saying goodbye individually to everybody because there's 28 people and that'll take a while. But you guys know I love you. Thank you for supporting me all this time. And I hope you all have a great night. Good night, everybody. Don't forget to check in the closet and under your bed, too, because if you don't, you never know what's going to happen. Good night, everybody.